What is going on, guys? Alex, and in today's video I want to show you exactly how to set up Google Ads. If you are a locksmith looking for leads, if Google Ads isn't working for you and you don't know why, I'm going to show you how to set it up, go over some common issues, and just basically give you a quick tutorial. I mean, the video is going to be 20 minutes long, but yeah, by the way, if you are a locksmith, if you're stuck in Google Ads, if you're not getting any conversions, if you're paying too much, if you just have no idea why Google Ads isn't working, or you just want someone to take care of it for you, click the link down below, book a call with me. I'm happy to take a look at your Google Ads campaigns, answer any questions you have about Google Ads, about landing pages, about bidding, anything like that. And of course, see if there is any opportunity to work together to help you get more leads and grow your locksmith business. Yeah, any case, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So I have a few searches here. I've got emergency locksmith in Chicago and Toronto locksmith. This is a space where people kind of have an idea what they're doing, but the biggest issue you're going to see is that too many locksmith businesses and businesses in general are not running traffic to a landing page. So I did click this one by mistake. I feel bad. But if you look up emergency locksmith Chicago, of course you have a pretty good ad here, right? You have this ad is not great. Doesn't mention Chicago. And then it just sends traffic to this page. It's Oak Lawn. So I just got a phone notification. Yeah, anyways, it's just a random Oak Lawn landing page for every single service, right? And this is the problem. This is why you send traffic to a landing page. If you're in an emergency, if you're in a hurry, if you're locked out of your home or car and you need a locksmith, you just want to call, right? And it does say call, but there's nothing here that's going to encourage you to really call, right? It's just, locksmith services. It doesn't seem legitimate enough. And we look at it on mobile here, right? It's just poorly formatted from a mobile standpoint. Nothing really here is telling us, oh my God, that can help me now. There's a form. Nobody that needs an emergency locksmith is going to fill out a form, right? They need you now. It's just not great, right? The problem for a lot of you guys is going to be landing page. Here with Toronto Locksmith, again, not terrible. When you do have this many businesses running ads in this space, you're going to want to have an offer. Like, this is pretty good. 15-minute locksmith, but you're going to have an offer or pricing in the heading, right, or in the description. The 15 minutes response time, this one's pretty good, right, 100% off, but you would want to probably mention that in the description. And yeah, this is also a space where SEO can work incredibly well. But let me just dive into a tutorial so that you guys can get your own ads up and running probably today. So this is what Google Ads looks like, and in Google Ads, to get your campaign going, just click on new campaign right here, select new campaign. Now, of course, you have a whole bunch of options here. You can want to go with leads, or you can just create a campaign without guidance. Not a huge deal either way, but just go ahead and click leads. Now, Google is telling you to use conversion goals. If you don't have conversion goals set up, Google will tell you to set those up. Do not spend money on Google Ads if you're not tracking conversions, right? If you're not tracking conversions, you'll have no idea whether or not your ads are working. And it's probably that and landing page are the two most important things of Google Ads. Do not run Google Ads without tracking conversions and having conversion tracking set up. And do not run Google Ads without a landing page, right? If you run Google Ads to your homepage without tracking set up, it's not going to work. Maybe you convert at 5%, if that. It's just not how you want to be doing things. So set it up for phone calls and form submissions. Probably as a locksmith, you're just only going to optimize for phone calls. Nobody's filling out a form for that needs a locksmith, right? It's typically an emergency service or a service that they need done quickly, and people just want to pick up the phone and call you. So from there, just click continue. You're going to have to choose a bunch of campaigns here. Don't choose a smart campaign. There may be an AI campaign, right? You can give that a shot. I had not seen those work yet. And don't choose Performance Max. Just go ahead with a standard search, right? And then you can choose these. I don't ever choose one of these, but if you just want phone calls, choose phone calls. Whatever you want, you can choose and fill it out and set up the ad that way. And then just name, we can just go with Toronto as an example. But in Toronto, you'd probably want to run more neighborhood-based ads. So we'll go with a smaller town. Let's go with Helena. We can just leave it as campaign, Helena, or just add locksmith. Click continue. Start new if you already have some campaign set up. And now, from here, you choose the bidding. Bidding is basically how you want your campaign to be structured on Google. Telling Google how you want to be bidding on keywords and when users are searching for your service, right? All the options you have here. A lot of issues one of the bigger issues I see when I run into, when I'm jumping onto especially new accounts is people start from a conversion standpoint. If you have a new account, you have no conversion data, so you can't focus on conversions. Google has nothing to optimize for if you are focusing on conversions. So if you just want to set it and forget it, you can go with clicks. I always recommend you manual CPC. You have to change that later on. That's not a gimmick. Google doesn't let you choose it now. You have to change it once the campaign is live. But if you really just want to set it and forget it, you would just select clicks. Of course, we set a maximum cost per click bid limit. For now, I'll set it as $5, but you can change that as well. If you don't set it, you'll pay $70 a click sometimes, and then you're just out of luck. So you always want to set a max CPC, but manual CPC bidding strategy is always going to be the best. This is second best. If you're in a hurry, if you just want to really set it and forget it and not focus on the campaign at all, just set it as clicks. Click next. Opt out of these two networks. They're very low quality networks. It's just going to drive up your budget and you won't get any leads from it because it's going to show on random websites. Google says search partners, so like park domains, YouTube, stuff like that. You only want to be showing up in Google search when someone searches for example, emergency locksmith Chicago. You just want to be showing up here. You don't want to be showing up anywhere else. And then the other thing it asks you to do is join the display network. We're not running display ads. Display ads don't work for locksmiths, so opt out of that network. For locations, the one thing you want to change immediately is select presence, people in or regularly in. If you choose presence or interest, you're going to get people that have shown interest in your included location. So if you are doing Helena, for example, it's going to be people that have looked up things to do in Helena, people in neighborhoods away that maybe are commuting into Helena, stuff like that are looking for the service. And you really don't want to be targeting those people. You just want to be targeting people in or regularly in Helena or whatever your location is. And when it does come to choosing the location, you can just go ahead and choose Helena, Montana, click include, and that's going to look something like this, right? Kind of random, and in some cases it does not look great. So in this case, you'd probably want to go with a radius search. To do that, you just click radius. You have the 20 miles here. You can enter Helena here or just choose pin. And you would choose pin if you were going to be targeting, specific neighborhoods. But you can just go click Helena, right? That's decent radius, I would say. If you want to edit it, you just can edit it here to even just a 10-mile radius if you don't want to drive too far. And boom, now you're going to be showing up for all of those other, all this area, and maybe a little bit outside. It's not exact, but yeah, you're ready to go. Languages, choose it as English. If you are going to be running ads in Spanish, if you're in one of the southern states, create a separate campaign, target Spanish. Do not target Spanish in your English campaign. Audience segments, you can add these. It does kind of give Google a little bit of a start. Typically, they're going to be pretty relevant, right? Home improvement, residential properties, commercial properties, wedding planning, you wouldn't add, right? That's good. And then just leave it as observation. If they're not relevant, don't add it. And it kind of helps, kind of doesn't. Whether or not it's worth it, it doesn't hurt, right? If they're relevant enough. But don't add irrelevant ones like event photographer, stuff like that. This you just ignore. Two settings here you want to change is ad rotation. You want to select do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely. This basically forces a split test because in each ad group, you're going to have ideally you'd have two ads, one ad with pinned headlines and one ad without pinned headlines. You can run a Google Ads experiment. I have a video on that, but you can just almost force a split test every month, testing something different for two ads within one ad group, and then you just force Google to rotate them indefinitely. Again, it's not going to be even, but it'll be even enough. And then here in more settings, you would just choose your schedule. Obviously, you don't want ads running all day unless you are doing fully emergency locksmith services, and you can answer the phone at like 1 a.m. But if you just want to do, for example, 6 a.m. to whatever, let's say like 10 p.m. This is where you would set that up, just like that, right? Boom, you're done. Click on next. You can try this out. I've never found it to work that well. I'll just click skip. Now this is where we're going to do the keyword research, but first we want to add our ad group name. So I would start broad, but in the locksmith space, you're going to have locksmithing and emergency locksmithing as both ad groups. So in this case, we'll just do emergency locksmith as the ad group here, right? And then now it's going to ask you for keywords. You can enter your URL. You can enter this. I don't typically see good results for that, but you can try it out. So how do you find keywords? I'll just show you guys really quickly. Now, of course, I would spend more time on this, and you should spend more time on this if it is your business, if it is your account. But go back to Google Ads, you're going to end up on this screen, but just click on tools and it's going to open the keyword option right here. Click on discover new keywords, add your area as Helena. It's going to be bad volume because it's such a small town. And then just add emergency locksmith. It's going to be basic stuff like emergency locksmith near me, emergency locksmith. You maybe want 3 to 5 keywords per campaign, right? And you can see here, mobile locksmith would actually be a different ad group. And 24-hour locksmith, if you can offer 24-hour services, is fantastic. But you would just go with emergency locksmith, right? And then you would just start as phrase match. You would do emergency locksmith near me. Don't do broad match. You can do exact match if you want to try. You can always test that. And then what I always like to do is add the geo modifier. So emergency locksmith Helena, right? That's good for the ad group. You want the ad group to be related to the service you're offering. So a lot of times I'll also see people that have emergency locksmith, mobile locksmith, 24-hour locksmith, cheap locksmith, all within the same ad group. Terrible way to structure it, right? You should have a very tightly themed ad group so that the landing page can match the ad group, which can match the keyword, which matches user intent. Everything flows together. Boom, you're getting clicks, you're getting calls, you're getting conversions, your business is growing. So that's all you have to do there. 3 to 5 is a good start. For final URL, do not send traffic to your homepage, right? If you do, it's not going to work, and I never recommend it. If that's all you have, fine. Even if your homepage is designed to convert, I've never seen a homepage that has been designed to convert, and so you always want to use a landing page. And so in this case, it would be something like locksmithhelena.com/emergency LP, right? And then you got to add the HTTPS // yeah. So that would just be to a landing page for emergency locksmith. This way, someone's going to search emergency locksmith near me, right? The ad's going to say emergency locksmith near you. They click the ad, it brings them to a landing page that says, are you looking for an emergency locksmith in Helena or near you? Here's our pricing. Here's how to get in touch with us. Boom, here's reviews. Super easy. Phone's ringing. You know, you're printing money. Anyways, here you can just add a little bit of a modifier. It does show it's here. Let's see if it uploads. Yeah, it's going to look something like this, right? You don't have to add that. For your phone number, of course, you want to add this. People looking for emergency services especially want to call. So just choose the phone number there, click apply. Now, for this, it's not going to be super difficult. You can see what your competitors are doing, but for locksmithing, and I have made a video on this, but in your headlines, you want to have the location, you want to have the service, you want to have a call to action, and then a benefit or feature, or in this case, an offer, right? So it would just be something like Helena, location, emergency locksmith, right? You would do something like emergency locksmith near you, right? Locked out of your car or home. Locked out of the car or home, question mark. That's a great pain point, right? Will be there in 20 minutes. If you can actually be there in 20 minutes, this is what I mean is a really good feature and a really good offer, right? Or we unlock, or it's free, right? These two are really, really good offers, right? And then you would also have something like emergency locksmith Helena, right? And then you can even have something just like locked out. These are really good features, really good offers. If you can add pricing, even better, but we unlock or it's free and we'll be there in 20 minutes. Super good. People are waiting, right? And then call us right now. Google, you'll see also on Google's end the data which tells you which of these are performing better. And again, you're always going to be testing headlines. You're always going to be testing descriptions, right? And for the descriptions, same, you want to mention service, location, call to action, pain point. So emergency, and you want to add all 4 descriptions if you can. Helena, we come to you. Call us now, right? Locked out of your car or home. We'll come help you out right now. Serving all of Helena. Boom, right? And again, spend more time on this. Look at what your competitors are doing. You should have a good idea of what your audience is looking for when it does come to when they need help with this. And so use all that to put together your description and your headlines. If you can, if you verified your account, add your business name and logo. It does help convert. You also want to add site links. You would add these. You would probably not want to add these here. You would add these in the asset section of Google Ads for the campaign, like assets overall. But if you just did want to add them here, you just click plus, right? You do we come to you, right? Or you have call us now. You can add a description, and then you just have your URL / whatever. That would lead to your contact page, right? And you'd have something like, for example, our pricing, right? People could click that, they can see your pricing, and they're far more likely to actually click the ad, get in touch with you, and you get that lead. Call outs are the same, right? Call outs, they just add a little bit of extra text to the end of the ad. We'll be there in 15 minutes, right? No, we have to get rid of the period. We unlock, or it's free, right? Locked out, call us. So it just adds a little bit of extra text. Google decides when and when not to add this. You want to have these callouts because it makes your ad bigger on the screen, which gives you more real estate, which makes it more likely that someone's actually going to see your ad, click it, call you, boom, you got a lead, you got a job, right? There are other asset types. You want to add prices if you can. You want to add structured snippets if you can, right? For neighborhoods, for services, stuff like this. You don't really need to add anything else here. And you will be able to add promotions as well. So we did see when they had a promotion, right? 100% off free service call. That's great promotion, right? And here you have some site links here. Nobody cares about FAQs. Nobody cares about why us, contact, pricing, reviews. That's really about it. But again, Google will tell you. At this point, your ad is like pretty good, right? This looks like a really good ad. Call us right now, emergency locksmith near you. That ad would print, right? And they see it, and then it also mentions Helena in the description I just saw, right? It says Helena. That's perfect. Really good ad, you guys. So click done. Now Google's going to review everything, right? If there's any errors, they're going to tell you. You just click next. This is where you set your budget. Oh, let me just confirm my account, guys. Sorry. All right, we're back. So choosing the budget. If you have $300 a month, Google Ads is not going to work, and you probably shouldn't run ads at all. The best way to find out what I would recommend as a budget. So I always get asked, how much do you recommend? Of course, how much do you have, right? Keep in mind that Google Ads does take time to get dialed in. You're not going to get the best results in month 1. You're not going to get the best results in month 2. But the best way to see how much you should spend, this recommended might not be far off, is ideally you want 10 clicks per day. So you go back to your Google Ads keyword tool here. Of course, I have no pricing for Helena. It's just too small of a town. So let me just change the town, and I'll show you. So just go back to the keyword tool, add your area here. Let's just go with like San Francisco. This will be crazy. Click include, right? Click emergency locksmith. Now you want 10 clicks per day, because that, especially at the start, should get you about 1 or 2 calls per day. Maybe 2 every other day, for example. Click get results. And how you determine that is, what I would do, for example, here, and it's not going to be cheap, right? In a lot of areas, it's just not going to be cheap. 10 to 33 bucks. You obviously don't want to be paying $33 per click. 10, you're not going to get the best customers. So somewhere in between, in San Francisco, if you really want to be getting emergency locksmith leads, my recommendation in this case is $200 per day. Now, how many emergency locksmiths have $200 per day to spend on Google Ads? Probably not many. But even at the very, very low end, if clicks are $10 Canadian, at the very low end, and of course you can get lower clicks. Even if you're paying $7 Canadian, you're looking at $70 per day, which if you're looking at 22 work days, if you're only working Monday to Friday, that's what, $1,500, which is actually not bad. That's a really good baseline for Google Ads. If you only have $700 a month, it can work, but in a lot of cases, you're not going to get the best results. It's going to take so long to get everything dialed in. And a lot of times you'll say, Google Ads isn't working, I quit, but it's more a budget issue or a landing page issue, not Google Ads not working. So in this case, I'll just set it as $50 per day, but this is where you set it, and this is my test account, so I don't want to actually spend any money here. All right, so click this. Now Google's going to review the whole account. It's telling me changes failed to save. That's never that accurate. Sometimes you have to give it a minute or two. It is going to review everything, and then when it's done, it'll say publish. And then I'll just show you guys 2 more settings right after that while it is once it is published. And by the way, if you did make it this far, don't forget you can click the link below. You can book a call with me. Whatever questions you have, or you can even email me, anything like that. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. And of course, see if there is any opportunity to work together to help you get more locksmith leads. All right, let's finish out. I'll jump back in when it's done, and I'll show you guys 2 more things you want to do before launching your campaign. Okay, so one thing I noticed here is that you will get an issue if you're a locksmith and you are adding your keywords here for policy details. You have to verify your account. You have to verify your business for the local services that are susceptible to fraud, locksmithing, for example, door installation, garage door installation, stuff like this. You will get this error because you need to verify that you are a real business. You will have to send Google your business details beforehand. So I'm just going to change these to something like, local service near me, just to show you guys as an example. But if you run into that issue, don't worry. You just have to verify your business through Google. So in that case, we should be ready to go. Click on next. And again, I will just jump back in once this is ready and we're ready to go. So we just click publish campaign, right? That's fine, publish. Now again, Google is going to ask you to set up a Google tag. Make sure you guys that you do have Google Tag Manager set up or conversion tracking set up. Do not run ads without conversion tracking. It's incredibly important that you're tracking everything. If you need help with that, book a call. I can help you out. All right, 2 more things you want to do. Exit out of that. Go back to your campaign, right? You can see here, we have a campaign. Click on this. Now, we do have it set as max clicks. If you do want to run max clicks, you will want to set a limit here. $5 probably not enough, $10, maybe less, maybe $7. But I don't recommend max clicks unless you're super busy and you really don't want to be bothered. So what you want to do instead is click on this, select the bid strategy directly, go ahead and select manual CPC, click save. Excuse me, guys, click save, exit out. Now, you have to hit refresh. And now go into your ad group here. Oops, ad group here. I keep getting this error because it's my test account. You can see now we have a default max CPC. Google will tell you if you're not spending enough, but you can set it quite low and then work your way up every week or so until you get to a point where you are getting clicks. And setting the default max is basically the most you'll pay. If you do click on the ad group, it'll bring you keywords here and it'll show you now we have max CPC. For example, you have it say local, or you have it say emergency locksmith near me. And you'll see the max CPC. If you're not spending enough, Google will tell you, and you'll see based on impression share, stuff like this, if you're overspending, if you're underspending. If you're not showing up at all, maybe you spend more. If you're showing up too much and you're paying too much, you can set it for less. There's a lot you can do there. And that really is about it, you guys. If you have made it this far, as always, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can click the link down below. You can book a call with me. I'm happy to take a look at your campaigns or just answer any questions you have about running Google Ads, your landing page, anything like that. Don't forget, set up conversions, you guys, before you run Google Ads or before you start spending money on ads. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.